Hello. Tell me that you can hear me. Can you tell me? We're telling your followers that your video has started. That's what Instagram says. So, all right. All right, great. Perfect. So, did you hear um there's new changes? Let me see in the news. Let me see. 1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief bill with 1,400 stimulus checks passes House, according to USA Today, heads to President Biden for a signature. Now, the House passes it, right? And what does it include? $1,400 in checks for billions to help schools and colleges to reopen. So it looks like the relief package. They call it the COVID-19 relief package, right? Isn't there like a name for this? Anyway, it says here that the bill went through the House. I'm just reading briefly here. The House vote was the final legislative hurdle for the legislation. It now goes to Biden, who will sign the bill into law on Friday. The measure's approval will be a milestone in Biden's presidency. Let me see. Okay, I'm skipping all the sad parts. Let's talk about the good parts. Let's see here. Okay, it says here the bill will reduce the poverty rate to 8.7% this year compared to a national rate of 13.7%. I think the poverty rate and unemployment rate also is way, way high. But I wanted to talk about what this stimulus package will benefit to those who are reporting their taxes. Besides it providing billions for vaccine distribution and development and to allocate for schools to reopen and expand the child tax credit. There we go. So it's expanding the child tax credit to up to $3,600 per child. So it's based on the 2019 tax returns that were filed, or the 2020. 1,400 checks are coming soon. I'm sure it'll come by April. So and it also says now there's title limits on who gets the checks, the $1,400 checks, leaving out Americans who make more than $80,000 annually. A provision hiking the federal minimum wage was also dropped from the bill after a key Senate official, the parliamentarian, ruled the provision violated the Senate's rules. Okay. USA Today is a little bit like, they take sides, and I'm just trying to read facts here. I don't want to read because of this, because of that. We don't know. We only know what they passed. So among the bill's provisions, it provides most Americans earning up to $75,000 a $1,400 check, extends a 300 weekly federal boost to unemployment benefits through August, sends $350 billion to state and local governments whose revenue has declined because of COVID-19's impact on the economy. They should just say because of the restrictions imposed by government. Now it allocates 130 billion to help fully reopen schools and colleges. Now that bill is massive, and it will raise your tax rates. Believe it or not, it'll we won't see it now. We will see it in a couple of years, but we will be paying for these things. Just like when George Bush had the stimulus that he passed back in the early 2000s. I think it was 2000. What was it? 2008 was Obama. Obama gave something. President Obama did a stimulus package too, and President Bush did one also. Before Obama, and we're still paying for those packages, those stimulus bills, but it's mostly stimulus for. I mean, there's more money for companies and businesses, and it devotes $50 billion for small business assistance. I think it's very important to have your own business. Hello. Hola. So we have to also remind ourselves that instead of staying home and doing nothing, come up with an idea to create a business. Create your own business and apply for these small business assistance grants that are out there. They have a time limit, and you can run out of the time. Would run out if you don't just go in and apply for those for that money. Hold on, I'm hearing something. I'm hearing myself. I think my wife just is hearing me, so I have to tell her that it's distracting. So I have to tell her, wait, can you close the door? Because I hear myself, so I'm getting distracted. But it's very important to, at this point, I find this as an opportunity to have your own small business. I mean, I do taxes for anyone that has a small business. For individuals, hold on, please. Amor, ¿tú puedes bajar eso porque me estoy distrayendo? So, right now, that's free money right there, and you will be able to make that money back if you dedicate yourself. I mean, businesses do fail, but most of the times, people fail because of lack of knowledge, lack of information. All right, so that's the big news. The stimulus, the third stimulus, number 3. So it says here at Kiplinger. Let me see. Can I turn this around? It says here, increase your third stimulus check by filing your tax return now or later. Depending on your situation, you might be able to increase your third stimulus check by filing your tax return right away. All right, so it looks like that must be done. There's people that actually file at the last minute. There's people that rather file for themselves. I do charge for my services, obviously, but I create accuracy. I make sure that return is accurate from top to bottom. There's no playing around. And as you can see, I don't have many followers right now, but hopefully more people will follow. I'll be trying to I'll be doing this weekly, this little talk here, where you can learn something, but especially where I can answer questions. So let me read this. It says here, there are plenty of good reasons to file your tax return as soon as possible. You'll get your refund faster. It cuts down on tax identity theft, and there's one less thing to worry about until April 15. Plus, for some people, it could also mean a bigger third stimulus check. But before you rush out to find a CPA or buy tax prep software, there's another side to the story. For other people, filing now could result in a lower stimulus check, and you don't want that. So should you file now or wait to file until later? Now, I'm not a CPA, but I am a tax preparer, through the IRS. I do have a P10. If you don't know what that is, I'll tell you. P10 is simply, and I'm working on to get higher than that. But a P10 is simply what you need as a tax preparer. It's called the Preparer Tax Identification Number. Is an identification number. This is according to Wikipedia. It says here that all paid tax return preparers must use. So you can't pay me without that. You need that, and you can always find that when I do, or when any tax preparer does their taxes, they have to put their number there. Anyone who, for compensation, prepares all or substantially all of any federal tax return or claim for refund must obtain a P10 issued by the IRS. So I have that. But there's something that's a little higher that's almost like a CPA. It's called an enrolled agent for the IRS. You need to pass an exam for that. And enrolled agents are, they're very knowledgeable. They can work all year. They're almost like an enhanced bookkeeper. They go real deep into the tax code, into the IRS tax code, and so that is awesome right there. That's something that I aspire to do. But right now, for me to do that, I have to really focus on studying their lessons. The lessons are free at the IRS website. All right, so I can prepare your taxes, right? And I do it through a third party because, that helps a lot too. The IRS sees that you have a backup, so that's what I have. I have a backup. All right, so besides the stimulus check, what else is going on? Well, the tax credit was raised, and that means that people who have dependents, I'm sure that it isn't just that tax credit, because that's very popular, very important for many people, the child tax credit. But there's other tax credits, for example, dependents. For example, if you're having a older person that you take care of, a mother, a father, an uncle, you can claim them. Somebody who's a relative, most of the time, you can claim them. And I'm sure that got affected too. All right, let me see what else is going on in the news. In terms of taxes, what's going on in the news? I'm trying to see. If you have any questions, you can ask me anytime. Apparently, there's not that many people. Let me see if I can invite more people here. All right. Okay. All right. So I was trying to post this live. All right. So I'm looking at the IRS website, trying to see what type of news they have right now. So the latest news is about protecting. Let me show you. Tax time guide. Make protecting tax and financial information a habit. You see, that's the thing. There's a lot of identity theft going on. A lot of people just doing the taxes wrong also. And people don't protect themselves. It says here that and that's some people, not everyone. The Internal Revenue Service today urged people to continue practicing proper cybersecurity habits by securing computers, phones, and other devices. Scams and schemes using the IRS as a lure can take on many variations, so practicing personal information security is vital. All right, there's a tax time guide apparently where it tells you everything. Where is it? The IRS works with the Security Summit, a partnership with state tax agencies and private sector tax industry to help protect taxpayer information and defend against identity theft. They actually provide a number, the IRS, in case you do suspect some kind of issue where somebody just took your name and profited from your name and your social security number through the IRS. You make sure that you tell the IRS, and so that you can get a identity theft protection pin. All right. So basically, a few tips to help minimize exposure to fraud and identity theft. Protect personal information. Treat personal information like cash. Don't hand it out to just anyone. Social security numbers, credit card numbers, bank, and even utility account numbers can be used to help steal a person's money or open new accounts. Provide a social security number, for example, only when necessary. That means you have to safeguard your personal data. Use strong passwords. Use a password phrase or series of words that will be easy for you to remember. Use at least 10 characters. I personally used a password creator protector. It's called LastPass, but there's others that are far superior. So I'm not going to tell you which ones. You would have to research which one will be ideal for you. You have to set password and encryption protections for wireless networks. At home or business, Wi-Fi is unsecured. It allows any computer within range to access the wireless network. A VPN helps a lot, by the way. VPNs aren't just for virtual private networks, aren't just for hiding your identity from any creep on the internet, but it's actually also to encrypt your information. All right, and avoid phishing scams. The easiest way for criminals to steal sensitive data is simply to ask for it. IRS urges people to learn to recognize phishing emails. All right, that's all in the IRS. Be aware that unsolicited email with a request to download an attachment or click on a URL could appear to come from someone that you know, like a friend, work colleague, or tax professional if their email has been spoofed or compromised. Don't assume internet advertisements, pop ads, or emails are from reputable companies. If an ad or offer looks too good to be true, take a moment to check out the company behind it. Never download security software from a pop-up ad. An antivirus program should provide protection from viruses, Trojans, spyware, and adware. I'm briefly going through many of these. I'm sure you know of it. Backup files. You have to back up your files. No system is completely secure. Copy important files, including federal and state tax returns, onto removable disks or backup drives and cloud storage. Store disks, drives, and any paper copies in secure locked locations. And that's what I do. I'm a virtual tax preparer. What I do is I submit all important documents that a client gives me, and I put it in the cloud into a system that goes directly to the IRS. And I don't store this information for myself at all. That's, first of all, illegal. And it just goes straight, and all throughout the tax return process, and filling out the tax forms, the customer has to give me the permission to handle their information. All right. So there's an ID theft central. Well, that's the only news I'm going to talk about. I'm not talking about everything with that appears on the IRS website, especially the news part, because it's just very, very complicated. It just goes on and on. But a lot of information is in that website. Accurate information. Don't just believe the media. Go to the IRS news. That's actually real news. The media just hypes the smallest word. All right. Let's see here. So we talked about the stimulus, the child tax credit, identity theft, and okay, so COVID relief bill changes tax rules mid-season. So this happened just today. So you want to know about filing an amended return. So amended returns are returns where you take whatever return you filed, you refile that return again, and you submit an extra document. Right now, I think it's called the 1040X. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, it's a document where you put your information again, and you need that document so that the IRS can see that it is an amended return. Normally, people don't mess up the state return, but whatever it's on the federal will affect the state. And so the 1.9 trillion stimulus package that Congress aims to send to President Biden. Let's see. It says, where's the amended return? Okay, I'm looking at this right now. Okay, so the IRS began accepting 2020 returns in February instead of January because it had to send out the last round of stimulus payments. Through February 26th, the IRS had received more than 45 million returns and processed about 39 million, according to the agency. Some people with unemployment income may have already filed to get a refund or to make sure they'll get future stimulus checks. But I gotta look for something that's related to amended. Unless this article just tricked me. Okay. So, but it's just as likely that the IRS won't be able to do that. What are they talking about? To do what? So the IRS will take care of updating your information and send you any money owed. If that happens, it would mean those people do not have to take any action to update their tax returns. But it's just as likely that the IRS won't be able to do that. Meaning that taxpayers will have to either file another return. I don't know who writes this. File another return. Who writes that? This is CNBC. Is this fake news? I don't think so. I think it's just somebody that doesn't know how to write. They're gonna fix it one way or the other. Anyway, and if they don't fix it, then you know you have to really be careful with what you read, because not everything is right. You have to read like 5 articles to get the truth. Anyway, you will have to file another return to correct the information before April 15th, the current end of the tax season for individuals. So there's no actual extension other than the normal extension. Una pregunta. Oh, I have a question. If you collect unemployment, do you have to pay that back? If you collect unemployment is considered an income. So yes, you do have to pay the taxes. Only if you didn't. Okay, put it this way. Let me put my face. All right, so unemployment, when you file your unemployment, right? If you opt in, if you told the state that you want your taxes, you wanted the taxes to be given to the federal, to the government, federal government, then you're fine. But if it's like you just get the money straight and no taxes were taken out for the federal, then you would have to pay taxes to the federal through the tax return, one way or the other. So you do have to pay that back. That's why in the past, when I did take unemployment, I will always put, yes, take the taxes. Why? Because I'm paying taxes now. I don't want to wait till later. All right. So, it says here you have to correct the information with an amended return or file an amended return after the deadline. So the amended return will have to be filed after the deadline. It looks like they're not going to be very concerned about returns process before April 15th or on April 15th at least, because many people will submit later. It's best for taxpayers to wait. Excuse me. It's best for taxpayers to wait at least a few weeks for more information before filing or trying to revise information they've already submitted to the IRS. That's what I was thinking. Like, normally, we don't change any information unless it's something emergent, something immediate. If the IRS right now says that the rule has changed, you have to do this now, then yeah, it has to be done. But I don't think they're going to complicate themselves. They'll do their best to update everything. If they make a mistake, they have to let us know, If you do need to file an amended return, the good news is that you can now do it online instead of needing to mail in a paper form. Okay, this is what I was talking about. It's right here. In 2020, the IRS made the Form 1040X for amending returns electronic. An electronic Form 1040X for 2020 is already available online from the IRS. Those who file through other online tax preparation platforms should check with the provider to see if they offer amended e-filing and have the up-to-date form. All right, and in most cases, you may have to pay for that. So, to fill out the form, you need the return you previously filed and know what information needs to be updated. The crux of the form shows 3 columns: original amount, net change, and corrected amount, said Susan Allen, CPA, Senior Manager for Tax Practice and Ethics with the American Institute of CPAs. The bottom of the first page of Form 1040X then calculates how much you now owe or how much the IRS now owes you. There isn't technically a limit to how many amended returns you can file, although doing more than one could get complicated. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's always best to wait till the IRS sends you a letter. A letter from the IRS is not the end of the world. For those that make a lot of money over the limit of getting an actual tax refund, it's always good to pay all your taxes. Tax refunds, in my opinion, they're great for many people, just like the stimulus, but it's always best to pay all your taxes. Even if you make more and you don't get a refund at all, don't worry about it, because if, for example, if you're a business or you work independently, you don't have to worry about any tax problems in the future. And you would have records showing that you do pay your taxes. So that's to avoid any kind of problems with the government. All right, so let's see, what time is it? I think I'll end this soon, and hopefully there'll be more people in the future. But I may have to do a live, possibly on YouTube. I'll do it there. What do you think? So I have to find a way where I can talk to people and just get feedback. If you have any questions before I leave, anybody? No? So let me cover one more thing, and let's see here. All right. So I work with a company. I am an independent virtual tax preparer or mobile tax preparer, however you want to call it. But I work with a company that offers life insurance and something called Defend My ID. These are all options. They're not obligations. You can travel the world knowing that whether it's lost or stolen, our team of restoration experts will keep you going. So I have that. Defend My ID. And what else? What was the other thing? Life insurance for the client. I have these, but I normally don't even mention it unless somebody really asks me. So I work with Community Tax Service, Community First Tax Service, and they're pretty good. I used to work for Jackson Hewitt and Liberty Tax Service, but I decided to break off. All right. So what I'm going to do right now is just let go. I'm going to have to say goodbye. All right. This is good for my first try, right? Excellent, right? Awesome. All right. So I think today is what? Today is Wednesday. I forget the days. So we can come back next Wednesday and let's see what happens. I don't know if I'll do it here on Instagram. I think I might go to YouTube. But let's see what happens. All right. You have a good night, everyone.